How is everybody doing? I'm Lisa Dublin and I'm late on Basement Chronicles Live. Yeah, I am. I am super late. But you know what? It's one of those days where you just take it as it's happening because, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. And I kind of feel like today I had the last class for Speak with Confidence, my third cohort. And of course, I cried at one point, right? I put off my camera because I just got a bit emotional as I want to do. It was just amazing to see transformations and to see that, the students' hard work paid off. And yeah, it was that kind of moment I'm sure we all share sometimes. So that's where I was. We had a good time and had a nice talk afterwards about the course and, you know, what can be done and what worked, what didn't. It was really, really good. So that was the last class for Speak with Confidence. And you know what happened? I had a question for everybody actually today. I'm sorry if you see me looking to the side. I'm just going between screens and trying to get my way with Restream. You guys, you remember I've been saying that I've been going live on LinkedIn as well because I signed up for this through Restream. Well, guess what happened? So obviously I decided to go check things and to see what's working, what isn't. And it turns out if you're using Restream, before you go live on LinkedIn, you actually have to activate something to kind of make it happen. So it's not just like, okay, you can do it on Facebook and on Twitter and on, what was the other, on YouTube as well, where I'm going live right now. YouTube, Twitter, well, not LinkedIn. I have to kind of get that done. So that's what I discovered just about Restream and how it works. But it's really a great platform I find because you can go live in so many different places, which begs the question: if you mess up, you actually mess up in all of these places too. And I imagine that's why some people mightn't want to do something like that. But you know what? I think sometimes, especially in this time of COVID and so much stress, whatever we can do to help alleviate each other's stress and each other's despair and to give hope, which is what I hope Basement Chronicles does, let's do it. And, just as I teach my students and Speak with Confidence, there's a thirsty person, there's somebody who wants to hear what you have to say. So, by all means, do your thing, okay? Let me just try and get my chat going. Hit me up. So, I needed to tell you about a couple of things and to also play a little interview that I conducted with one of the presenters at the To All the Girls conference. Let me tell you something. Especially, this is for women. It's called the To All the Girls virtual conference. So, um, it's for the girls only. And if you're stuck in any area of your life, right? And we are going to be hitting on those major areas, right? I want you to think good friends help make problems lighter. That is the acronym that I'm using. Good friends help make problems lighter. So the G stands for God, for your faith. Friend stands for family and relationships. H stands for health and fitness. M stands for money matters, okay? P stands for purpose. And the L stands for leisure and relaxation and self care. We're going to be hitting on each of those pillars in the To All the Girls virtual conference. Just remember, good friends help make problems lighter. And we are here to make your problems lighter because To All the Girls is becoming like good friends, okay? Where's my chat? Like, where is my chat? Let me just find my chat, okay, guys? Give me 1 second here, and I can find this chat that I'm not seeing right now, honestly. So, so this was the last class of Speak with Confidence, and one of the students invited her partner to come along, and then he asked the question, "Is the Speak with Confidence class only for women?" And I looked around me, and I went back to the previous two cohorts of Speak with Confidence and realized in every cohort we have only just had women. So, my question, I guess, is how do we make this so that, I'd love for Speak with Confidence 4, which is happening in February 2022, God willing. I would love to have a lovely mix of males and females not just women. I think men too need the help where speaking is concerned and, presenting with confidence, etc. But I think the messaging and everything perhaps has to look a bit different. So, any ideas you can give me on how to make speak with confidence, or do the messaging around it and the marketing around it so that men will come? Please let me know. I'd be very grateful and I'd be very happy to find out, okay? Anyways, so when he said that, I was like, I usually have males as private clients. I find that they prefer to do one on one. I've had quite a couple male clients who want like interview skills or want help with just learning how to approach people and speak with confidence, which is what I do in all sorts of settings. But to say that they would come into like the group setting, that hasn't happened, but I'm really going to challenge myself to go out there this time and to be able to get just to hear what the males are saying and to be able to get them in the class. So any help you can give in terms of how to make this thing work, okay? I'm just logging. Let me see because I cannot see my chat on Restream. So I'm going to Facebook right now. Anyway, folks, I wanted to play something for you today because one of the presenters at To All the Girls Conference is Shona Catlin. And even if you don't come, and I hope you do because it is really going to be a conference with a difference, many of us are stuck in the areas that I spoke about. And we need help. I know I sure have gone out to get help in all sorts of areas of my life where I felt stuck and to great, success, more success than others in some cases, right? But the thing is, if you feel stuck in any of those areas, please come to the conference. Shona Catlin is going to be one of the presenters at the To All the Girls virtual conference, the 30th and the 31st of October. It's a 2-day conference, but hear this. I'm going to make it so that you do not want to miss any of the days. But if you do, well, you just, enjoy what you can, do what you can, come when you can. Take in some of the information. Nobody says you have to be tethered, okay, to your desk or to your computer for the 2 days. We're going to include like exercise. We're going to have lots of inspiration. And my speakers are dynamic. If you guys know who I have lined up, this week is going to be lit. Let's just say that. I'm going to put out a lot of the interviews that I've been conducting with my presenters, and you will definitely see that it is going to be worth your while because, I like to do things excellently. I like to give people value. And coming out of the To All the Girls conference of 2020, I realized there was a need for us to get into a space to be recharged, a space for us to, just to kind of catch yourself again and move forward. And that's exactly what happened last year when I look at the lives of those who attended the conference and what has happened. So we want to repeat that kind of success. That's what we want to do. Okay, folks. So there goes. I want to just present my guest, Shona Catlin. Shona is a Canadian born of Caribbean immigrants. She now lives in Barbados. I met her through a mutual friend who really gave rave reviews about what she does, just in terms of getting people to be fiscally responsible. So listen to my interview. It's only 10 minutes. My interview with her. Hey Nefford, how you doing? Now I'm seeing all of my comments, right? Hey Nefford, how are you doing? So let's see if I can let me see if I can share my screen with you, and I will share that. Oh, let's see. Okay, you guys, just give me a second here, just to try to share my screen. It doesn't seem to be working. Oh boy. I'll probably post a video after. I'm sorry, this is just like, it's been one of those days. Just one of those days. Let me see if I can do it this way then. Go through my downloads. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me know if you can see this. Not sure. Can you hear this? Was anybody hearing this? Okay, I kind of have it open. Let me. Can you hear this? Was anybody hearing this? Okay. Oh, there I go, messing up on live Facebook. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Secondary. Okay, so I'm gonna play this now, and yeah, let's see. Okay. Everybody, Lisa Dublin here. Another Basement Chronicles live, but this time I've got a guest, and I've got a very special guest, Shona Catlin. Shona will be presenting at the To All the Girls Conference, which is happening on the 30th and the 31st of October 2021. It's the second time that we're having To All the Girls, this virtual conference, and I don't want you to miss it. Shona is an expert with the things of finance are concerned. And we know that that is always a sticking point for people. We need to get that part of our lives right to get unstuck. Right, Shona? We do.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, for sure. So I really am so happy that you've agreed to present at To All the Girls Virtual Conference on the 30th and 31st. And I wanted to just introduce my audience to you. I know you do have a wide following already, and I'm honored that you've agreed to present. So can we begin by, the obvious question? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me. I'm Shona. I am a stay-at-home mom and serial entrepreneur. And in my spare time, I love to talk about finances and getting financial independence. A little bit of backstory about me. I was born in Canada. My parents are Caribbean immigrants. And then I was raised in the States. But subsequently, I reached financial independence and I retired and I came back to Barbados where my mom is from.
Wow,
So,
you know you don't look very old. I mean, you don't.
I know.
You don't.
That ties into my financial philosophy, which is called FIRE. I'm an advocate, I'm a big supporter of the FIRE movement. For anybody who doesn't know what FIRE is, it stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, or some people say work optional if you don't want to officially retire. So I reached FIRE through real estate in Pittsburgh, which is in the US, about 4 or 5 years ago. But then I got bored, so I started other businesses. So that's how I became a serial entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your real estate business led to the freedom to be able to do other businesses.
Yep.
Right. Oh, lovely. So let me just ask you about that before we go into our other questions, Shona. So you know how was it possible to repeat the real estate miracle in the Caribbean, in Barbados?
Well, right now I'm currently doing a redevelopment project in Barbados. It is a boutique hotel. It's called Paradise Point. It's on Instagram. And I'm going to see if it's possible to repeat that. I do long-term and student housing in America, but that's not going to be profitable in Barbados or in the Caribbean as a general, because in the Caribbean, your cost to purchase tends to be higher than it is in the States, but then your rent is significantly less than what you would get in the States. That's called a price to rent ratio, not to get fancy on you guys. So the only way to make real estate profitable in the States is by doing short-term rentals. And then you're opening into a massive new audience, and you can reach real estate success in short-term rentals. And with the advent of Airbnb, it's really easy for the average person to do that, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, great. All right. So let's talk about that question I told you I always ask all financial gurus. Everybody always talks about saving, and obviously we're jumping a little bit, Shona, because we want to leave some stuff for people to hear about in the conference, to come and not just be informed, to get techniques and strategies for how to get financial independence. The question that I always ask financial gurus is this: everybody talks about saving. How do you save money and keep it saved, or is that a thing?
Well, the first thing I want to ask you is, compared to 10 years ago, are you making more money now than you were 10 years ago?
Definitely. Yeah.
Have your expenses increased in the 10 years?
Oh, I know where you're going with that. Yes, that too.
Yeah, so that's called lifestyle creep. And that is what I think is the killer of people's income and inability to save money. It's that, back in the day, you used to be able to do without certain things, but then all of a sudden you start making money, and those things that were wants back in the day now become needs. And the reality is that they're really not needs. You do not need to have a luxury car. It's not needed. You don't need to have a McMansion. It's not needed. And these wants that you internalize as needs, they fuel this living beyond your means situation, which then gets people in debt. And when you have debt, it's hard to save money because all of your money is going to servicing debt. So my biggest advice for people would be to avoid lifestyle creep. Try and live significantly below your means so that you're able to save money and invest money. Because once you start crossing over from servicing debt to investing, you reach a whole new playing field.
Okay, wonderful. And I'm pretty sure you're going to talk a lot more about moving from that level, from debt, just servicing, to investing at the conference. So let's say somebody's hearing this kind of information for the first time and is presently in a financial hole. Oh my goodness, how do I get myself out of where I am to be able to get to the kind of dream that Shona is now presenting as possible? What would you say?
Well, I think you first have to have a positive mental attitude. You have to realize that whatever's going on in your life, whatever hardship you're facing right now, it's only temporary. That your life can change within a matter of seconds. And can I just give a quick example of this from my own life?
Go ahead.
All right. So back in 2008, 2010, I decided to drop out of med school and become an architect. And then I graduated in the housing market crash. Now, if anybody else has Caribbean parents, you know that you have to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. There's no other options in a Caribbean household. So when I dropped out of med school, my mom lit into me. She was like, you're going to be poor. You're not going to be able to live. How can you be an artist? This makes no sense. And then I graduated in the housing market crash, and I could not find a job. Like, nobody was hiring. I ended up working for like $9 an hour for my architecture professor. And I was making $9 an hour working in a bio lab in college. So I was making $10 an hour. So I actually graduated and made less money than when I was in the medical profession, not even a graduate yet. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, oh my gosh, my mom is right. Like, this is horrible. I can't find a job. Like, how do I break it to her? And this honestly was a launching point for my success because I was making so little money, because there were no employment potentials out there for me because of the market situation. I was able to capitalize on the fact that the housing market had crashed. And because I was so young, I was able to say, you know what? I will take a risk. I will go out there and I will buy a cheap house because they're cheap right now. And I was able to do that through the power of positive thinking. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and I changed my mental attitude from one of, this is my permanent situation, to my life can change overnight. And then I flash forward 5 years ago, and I'm 5 years from that point, and then I'm retired. Wow. So my life changed from being broke and unemployed or underemployed to being retired from real estate in 5 years time frame.
Wow. Okay. You know what? That was our teaser, because everybody, and that is a question I'm pretty sure that you're going to help our audience to answer, at the conference. Like, how do you do it? So you said you started with the power of positive thinking. I love that book, by the way, Think and Grow Rich. Is that Napoleon Hill?
Yes, that is
Napoleon Hill. Yeah, for sure. So we're going to stop here because I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're already late to the interview, and I apologize. And also, I'd love for our audience to come and hear you, because that is such real value, particularly in this time. And you just seem like if anybody can just go follow you on Instagram, and you can see the kinds of things that you post. You seem very focused on this and really crushing it. So thank you for agreeing to be at To All the Goods, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you. Yes, for sure. Oh my goodness, this has been great. I am looking forward to hosting you at the conference. So that's this year, Shona. As I was telling you, next year, to all the girls, hopefully we're gonna be, yes, we're gonna be in St. Lucia. Would you believe, you guys? She hasn't been to St. Lucia, so this will be her first time in 2022, God willing, and we're definitely gonna have a blast. So, but see you first of all, 30th and 31st. We're gonna release the schedules for each day pretty soon, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to really inform and, just let our audience see what is possible. So any parting words, Shona, in terms of, what is there to think about, that people can come in with those expectations for the day?
Well, first, I want to congratulate everybody for taking their weekend to attend this conference, because that is the first step. The first step is to surround yourself with other positive, like-minded people and get educated. And then you can, once you have the knowledge and you start applying it, then your life can take off from there.
For sure.
So I look forward to meeting everybody.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to hosting you. So thank you, Shona. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Bye. See you. Bye. Okay, that was my interview with Shona Catlin. And Shona, as you heard, she's part of the FIRE movement, right? So it says financially, so I forgot what it means, but it just means you retire early, right? You're financially responsible and you retire early. I kind of forgot what it meant, but it is really something that, a lot of people are actually buying into. It's a way of life. It's not for everybody, but once you want, I've just been exploring it quite a bit. I don't know that the retire early. Let's see. I'm gonna be 46 in a couple of weeks, so let's see how that works, right? But I'm really looking forward. Shona's advice, I think, is so predicated on this: just be positive about it. That no matter where you find yourself, it is possible to climb out. It is possible, to have something that will work for you. That's what I loved about what she says, because sometimes I find, especially financial people, they can be very like, okay, you didn't know that. I don't know if anybody's ever had that. Like, you should know that. There's almost like a superciliousness, like, oh my goodness, like, what is wrong with you, you moron? You should know by now, right? Which is, in a way, it makes sense, but at the same time, every single person needs hope, is what I'm trying to say. And Shona is definitely that kind of positive person who starts the whole process of, hey, you need to take charge of your finances, but let's start from the point of view that, you absolutely can make it work. Start with that positive mindset. And you know what? Shona is one of our awesome presenters at the To All the Girls conference. I'm releasing a couple more interviews this week because I really want you to come out and if you're a lady, if you're a girl, please make sure you come to the To All the Girls conference, because you don't want to miss it. I'm serious. You just don't want to miss it, okay? Anyway, so I have something else I wanted to talk about. Vina, can you hear now? Can everybody hear? Did you guys hear properly? I hope you did. I'm sorry about that. I have something else I wanted to talk about, and it's been on my heart all day, you guys, all day. And I thought, oh, probably shouldn't say it, but I will. As you know, I love fitness and exercise, and I love working out. I run. I did my first reel by myself this morning. Right? Oh my gosh, this is too much work, okay? This is a lot of work to. No. I'm trying to get the reel done while I'm making scalloped potatoes in my kitchen, and just a whole hot mess. But I got it out, and the reel is on IG. Just me at the gym this morning at Good Life Fitness, and a couple old videos as well from a couple weeks back, because like my hair is different and everything, right? But there's something I wanted to talk about, and it really harks back to why I'm doing To All the Girls conference. So I I always straddle worlds. I always straddle worlds. When I was like, I'm a writer, but I'm also in the media. I'm into exercise and fitness, and it's not a field that like you find people who really are into, well, at least in my part of the world, right? People who are like, just loving on God and so on, don't really seem many times to take on taking care of their bodies. So I'm always straddling worlds and trying to make sense of the dualities of my life, I guess. It's gonna work out at some point. I guess that's what makes me me. But I was thinking about this morning that it's all well and good to take care of yourself, and I'm all for that. Our bodies, I believe, as the Bible says, are the temples of the Holy Spirit. I believe that with all my heart. But you know what? Can you imagine doing all of that? Lifting tons of weights at the gym, right? And then you don't even take care of your spirit. You don't even acknowledge that God made you. You don't acknowledge that, even that strength and that drive and that body that you have, it came from a maker, creator who made you. And I mean, I see it a lot at the gym. The gym is the place where a lot of people who are just so into themselves are. Just totally into themselves and to nobody else. Not into God, not into anybody else. Some people just live to go to the gym. We're not talking about that. And I don't know that that is a healthy way to be. But there's a verse in the Bible that says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? This has been on my heart all day. Maybe, I don't know, warning or whatever. But it really is food for thought. And it's something that always makes me try to struggle with my choices. I love running. Yeah, it just, you know, relieves my stress, and it's one quick way to kind of hit the calorie goals and all of that. But I'm always reminded every time I run, like, okay, are you giving more time to your physical body than you are to your spiritual person? Notice I didn't say spiritual man because to me, I'm a woman. Okay? And I don't care. But are you giving more attention to one part of your life as opposed to another? Are you paying more attention to your education or to your relationship or to your money or to leisure or to pursuing business than you are to taking care, nurturing, and finding out God's purpose for you and spending time with your Creator? It's one of the reasons that I insist on trying to balance everything. If you listen to my poem To All the Girls, it's on YouTube. Go look for it. To All the Girls. That YouTube channel is my name, Lisa M. Dublin. If you listen to that poem, it really is a struggle of somebody who's trying to balance life and trying to go after the things that matter. And that is one of the reasons that I wanted to do the To All the Girls conference, to hit on all of those things that, in my opinion, at least, and I think in many of people's opinions, I think so, you tell me, but all of these areas of our lives are equally important. I the kind of person I am, it's like, how can your Christianity just be good for the church bench? Like, what is that? What purpose does it serve? I've never been that kind of person to be content to leave my faith in the pews. It has to invade everything that I do. My poetry, it has to invade everything that I do. The poetry, how you live, how you love, how you friend, if that is a verb, I don't even know. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? And I think that's like, hey Tessa, how you doing? Hi folks, everybody's coming out now. Y'all think you're gonna make me stay on too long? Next thing my friends come and tell me about, oh, don't come telling the people you're not gonna be before them long because you always stay on too long. Okay? Yeah, I've gotten that comment before, right? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to balance things out? And I know that we have a big conflict and crisis in trying to balance things out. But are you even trying? I'm always reminded, okay, when I'm running, I look at my hours for the week for running, and I'm like, okay, how many hours did you give to parenting and to your relationship? And how many hours did you give to prayer? And I try, especially those two, because I probably love running a whole lot, okay? And I try to always match it with, okay, my prayer life and Okay, if I'm given that amount of time, I try to do the habit stacking. So I'll pray. I try to tie my prayer life with my exercise life, like the two things go together, because these are the two most difficult things to go together. And I try to, try to make it work. But that is what is on my heart today. And I hope it kind of means something for you. We're going to try to address all of these important things at the To All the Girls virtual conference. Like you can't be having what you call a good life here and you have no sense of your creator who made you. I That is a life that life is not a going concern. I'm sorry. The best thing for me, especially as somebody who suffered from depression and was so felt so hopeless, just felt hopeless. One of the best things I love, one of the things I love about having a living relationship with God is that there's always more. There's always more. Like, you know how many people are just bored with life? Many people are just bored with life and have nothing to do, and you feel hopeless. Like, what is next? You stare into the future, and all you see is like a big gray dark wall. No, there's always something else to do with Christ, and there's always somewhere else to go, some other part of yourself to explore. That is what I like, honestly. And so we want to try to address faith as one of those pillars that should be a non-negotiable in anybody's life, right? And then we're going to look at your health as well, and family and relationships. Not everybody's in a relationship, not everybody has family, but if we can even look at relationships that not just have to do with intimacy but also friendship, parenting as well, those kinds of things, we're going to do so because these are also important. That I think is another pillar. You tell me, you guys, like, is it or is it not? And let me try to get into my comments so that I can see. Hang on, folks, hang on. I am so sorry. Yeah, but then there's also the whole money aspect, and there's health and fitness. And the other two, like, as I keep on saying that these things are not new. There's this guy Jamal King, and I have said this on Basement Chronicles. I give all credit to him in terms of him having figured out certain things for his life as a man. What I found, however, so you can go follow him, Jemal Jamal, and his last name is King. So he is known as the 9 to 5 millionaire, 9 to 5 millionaire, because he made millions through real estate, even while he worked his full time job as a police officer in Chicago. And he always says that he has those pillars. There's faith, there's family, there's fitness, a couple others. For me, being a woman, I realized that I needed to personalize those things because our needs are different and distinct. And so there is faith, and there is obviously the financial part of it, family and relationships for sure. There's also fitness as well. There's also, I think, for women in particular, there's purpose. There's purpose because many people do not get to follow what they want to do, and many people do not find themselves in a situation where they are pursuing their destiny because of other obligations. And we want to talk about that. We want to show you in the To All the Girls conference what it looks like to be pursuing your destiny and to be walking in your purpose. So we'll have speakers to that effect. And lastly, leisure. Maybe I'm just drawing from my own life and trying to put this leisure thing and self-care thing in its proper place, which is top of mind with every other area of your life. But many of us women are just overworked, overburdened, and don't even know when to stop. The other day, I was in a coaching session, and a lot of the women I coach are very high performing women. I think I understand them best, being one myself, perhaps. But high performing women can actually literally run themselves off a cliff and think that it's okay. So the other day, I was coaching. This client was in the States. She's a doctor. And she, just through COVID, is very exhausted and all of that. And she was thinking of, just getting time off. And we were trying to look at how that conversation would go with her, her superior, whatever. And we were kind of thinking, okay, can you say something like, okay, I think I've come to the end of my rope. I kind of need some time. And she just looked at me. She thought for a while and she said, you know what? I have not come to the end of my rope. I know that I have a lot more to give. I can still go on. And then it just hit me. Isn't that how a lot of us women are? High performing or not, we can just keep on going. Keep on going. You know that there is some kind of disorder where the person doesn't even feel. You guys, I'm sorry if you feel that I'm talking. I'm just not seeing everybody talking. That's exactly what is happening. So forgive me if I am not responding to the comments. I'm pretty sure if people are commenting and I'm not seeing. I'm very sorry about that. My computer seems to be also stuck. Let me just check Facebook, see what the comments are. But here's the thing. The thing is that you should not run yourself off a cliff. You should not. And then I did an interview with Dr. Tanya Destang Bober, who will also be she's such an awesome presenter as well. Such an awesome presenter. And we were talking about this penchant of women to keep on going even when they should stop, and they don't know that they should stop, because there's this like disorder thing where you don't feel any touch, you don't have the sense of touch, so you can actually literally put your hand on a very hot stove and not feel any pain and burn yourself, third, fourth degrees if there's such a thing, and not even feel it, except that it's going to affect you after nerve damage and all of that. Some of us women are like that. And so the two other girls will really validate your self care, validate for you if you need any help there, that you should take a break and you need to build into your own schedule no matter how busy you are and how needed you are. You need to build into your schedule time for self care. What do you do for leisure? I had to ask myself that question. I think I have an answer now. You know what I do for leisure? I sleep, okay? I do. And what I've taken to doing is catching a nap when I really feel like sleeping. That's when it's sweetest. When you sleep when you really want to sleep, that is when it's sweetest. Have you ever been in a meeting, particularly these long Zoom ones, and you just like thinking of your bed and you just like thinking of, um, you know what? I if I was sleeping now, I would be on this position in the bed and it would feel like this. No, that's how badly I wanted to sleep sometimes. And, just gone to catch a nap when I want to, before work, after work, whatever. But to me, that for me is just a simple joy. It's a simple way of self care, of me saying to the world that this is my time that I need to recharge. And so we're going to be doing all of these things at the To All the Girls conference. We need to head for balance. And this conference is about trying to help us women achieve balance. But to all the girls aside, just remember what I was talking about today before I end. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? Where are you heading, sis? Where are you heading, bro? Where are you going to? Do you expect to accumulate all of this and then you don't even take care of that spiritual part of you? Like, how logical is that? How's that gonna work? How's that gonna work? On the other hand, maybe it doesn't that verse doesn't pertain to it. But what I hate is people who are just like, okay, yes, I believe in God, I'm deep in God, I pray, I go to church, whatever, and I don't take care of myself, and that's not okay either. Like, how are you witnessing? How are you being a light and salt to the earth? How are you taking that light and gospel into places where people who would not usually hear it can hear it? And that's what I was trying to point to, just talking about the way that I kind of straddle worlds. So I'll straddle the gym world and the whole, Jesus world. My friends, when I worked at the gym, they used to tease me at the front desk and be like, Jesus, take the wheel. Because that's what I would say for all of them. Jesus, take the wheel. Except that I meant it. And they kept repeating it. I guess in some way, you know how your words do come to pass. But the thing is that I feel like faith is it's supposed to have legs. It's supposed to be workable. It's not supposed to be highfalutin and just on the church bench. What is that good for? Let that light shine before the world that they might see your good works and glorify your Father who's in heaven. Not so? That what I found is, hey Kadia, how are you? What I found is when people realize that there's more to you than just now, don't get me wrong. Faith is super important to me. I would not be here if I didn't have my faith. However, I find it very boring and very useless to only have a hallelujah for people and not be any good in the world. What are you doing? How do you bring other people within the sound of the gospel by the other things that you do that show your excellence that stems from your faith? I'm really big about that. So for speaking, for running, can you be a superlative in something and show people that this gospel is living and it's life and it just takes you places? I have a feeling I'm not making much sense this afternoon, except that this has been nagging at me for the whole day. And I wanted to just release it, to speak about it, to encourage those of us who have other pursuits to realize that our life should be about that balance and making sure that God is in the place that He's supposed to be, even while we pursue every other thing in this world. That's my little message this afternoon. I hope it's a message that has legs, but God things always have legs. What am I talking about? You say it and you let God do the rest, right? You say it and you let God do the rest. Anyway, everyone, I shall be on quite a bit this week because I really want you all to come out to the two other girls. I'm going to post the link. I've been talking about it. Please go to my website, lisamdublin.com. It is the front page. The early bird special, it's $50 US for the 2 days. Yes, I am crazy to do this, but I just want people to come out. After the 25th of October, that price will go up. And if you haven't got your ticket at that time, I'm sorry, it will be some more. You have to pay a little more, and I really don't want you to pay more for this conference. So please buy your ticket now while it is the early bird special, and come and you can pick up a ticket for a friend as well. What happened? Like, I had some of my presenters this year. They're so generous. They're like, you know what? Instead of giving me a speaker fee, can you invite somebody to the conference who you think needs it and can't afford it? And that's what I've done. So I've sent out a couple invitations to people because it has been covered, by some of the presenters who just awesome people. And they're like, no, we want to bless somebody. And, this is our way of doing so. It is going to be lit. This conference is going to change your life. The theme is launch. And I chose that theme just after much of everything, just to encourage you to, from where you're at, two things. It's time for you to go further. And secondly, it also harks back to a quotation that means a lot to me because I saw it at a very dark time of my life. And it is this: that a setback is nothing more than a setup for a comeback. You probably heard it already. If you hadn't, it even sounds musical. A setback is nothing more than a setup for a comeback. So you might have been beat down in your faith, might have been betrayed or bitter about church. It might be with finances. You might have gone bankrupt. You might not know what happened. You might have had your heart broken, a divorce, cheating, or even domestic violence, and you're wondering, hey, is there anything left there? Or family members and relationships have disappointed you. Or it could be in the sense that you have started so many diets and failed. You've started walking and you've stopped. You started running and you stopped, and you just went right back to the original weight, or you just fell off the bandwagon. Launch from the disappointment and launch from the failure. And what can I tell you something? When you start from that point of, hey, I've been beat down, I've experienced the negative, the comeback is even greater because you're coming from further back, right? You're coming from further back. And so you're going to go further just by the sheer force of the memory and the motive behind moving forward, which is, I am not going back there. I am not going back there. I will find my way, and that disappointment and that battle and that whatever the negative was, it is going to propel me forward. So that's why we called it launch. And our own, hey, Max, Zido, Kim, blessings. Oh my goodness, lots of people are here. Hi, folks. Yeah. And you're waiting for your comeback from all the grief and brokenness you've endured this year. And Katie, you know what? Come and be blessed and help yourself and help along. I don't know, like, obviously, things take time, things do take time, and I hear you about that. So we'll talk a little about that, Katie, for sure. A lot of people are going through many things, and perhaps this is my way of saying this is a pit stop for you, a way for you to recharge, a way for you to get your grounding again. I know many people like me perhaps always need to kind of sort yourself out. There are days when I just need to sort myself out. And I'm like, Lord, just take all of this in my head. Just help me out here. Thank you very much. This is your pit stop. This is when you come to recharge. So go to my website, lisamdublin.com. Please buy your ticket before the 25th of October. After that, you guys, unfortunately, because of who I have invited and I've got to pay them, it's going to go up. Okay? But I want to give everybody the chance to get the early bird tickets and get one for a friend so that you guys can watch it together and compare notes and support each other, because I cannot promise you that you will not cry. I cannot promise you that it will just be a conference as usual, because it will not. It's going to be blessed and it's going to be impactful, and it will leave you with a lot of food for thought and perhaps a way forward for the future. So, anyway, people, I'm a bit tired today. Let me tell you what I did this weekend. So, the last thing, right? Y'all, kettlebells. I have this friend who's a kettlebell instructor in France. I don't know if Christy's here. Christy might be. Yeah, so what we started in my high school reunion group is that we started working out. Hopefully, we'll be working out every Saturday morning. So we started this Saturday morning, and Christy, via Zoom, thank God for this virtual world, Christy led us through a kettlebell workout. You know when something is fun while it lasted and you pay the price after? Right. I think everyone was quiet all of Saturday because everyone was feeling their age. It was tough. It was a wonderful workout, but um, it was just tough because, like, I just felt it afterwards. I felt it in my upper body. I felt it in my butt. I felt it in my thighs. Oh my goodness! But it was a great workout. Kettlebells are really a good way to get fit and to to add that tone that we all need. So do your kettlebells, people, and have a great week. I'll be posting quite a bit of stuff in the To All the Girls group this week. So don't forget to get your tickets. And most importantly of everything I've said today is this, right? What shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul, right? Not somebody else's soul. After you go and do all of that and a bag of chips, and you forget about your God, and you forget that you have a soul, and you forget that you're going to die, and do you know where you're going when you die? No. As well as the other things that you do, take time for God to find out who He is. He loves you. Well, He literally loved you to death and to life. He literally sent His Son to die for your sins. So He literally loves you. So I hope that means something to everybody or to somebody, that just take heed about that part of your life, you guys, because that's just super, super important. Lisa Dublin, over and out for today's Sunday, the 17th of October. See you guys on the next side of the week. Bye.